The lighting likes us today. The natural light wants to work with me. Hello guys, hope you're all amazing, and if you are not, hope my video puts a smile on your beautiful faces and makes you laugh. I felt like doing the intro this time. Not every video, I think from now on I'm going to end up doing the intro, but I just felt like it today because today's sunny, it's a pretty day, and you know what it's good for? It's an anime haul! Now, I haven't done an anime and manga haul. Yes, manga. There is manga in this. Oh my god! Because any of the other hauls I've ever done, it's just been anime. But we're changing it up. I'm changing it up. I haven't done a haul since December. And I mean, that's only been, what, nearly 3 months? Yeah, nearly 3 months. But in that time, I've gotten a few little things. So this isn't like a massive, massive haul. I'd say this is like a moderate haul with what I have here, but there is more manga this time than there is anime. There's only 3 anime. But with collecting, I really did cut back at the beginning of this year. But today I'm excited to share with what I have got. I've got some old, got some new. So without further ado, let's just get right into talking about the anime stuff. You know what? These are actually one of my favorite types of videos to do, or actually watch. Just watching people get excited over what they have bought, you know, it brings a happiness. It brings happiness, and I just love watching collection hauls. But I'm going to start off with the anime because that is the less of what I have here. So all of these that I have here, they're all old anime because with my collection, it has changed my habits over the years, and I actually did a video talking about how my collecting habits have changed. I'll put a little card thing up here or whatever, however you do it. I only just started learning how to do that, you know, do the suggest thing whenever I mention a video. But I've been concentrating on collecting older series and also favorite series. So actually within the past 6 months, I have added quite a few favorites that I watched years ago, but I've always had wanted to have in my collection. So for example, like I have, Inubaku Secret Service, Witchblade. Those are some of my really favorite anime that I love to rewatch. And as I've said before, how I go about collecting, I will only buy anime that I know I'm going to rewatch, and the same goes for manga. I will only buy manga I know I'm going to reread. And because it feels so sorrowful if I like buy an anime or a manga and I know it's never going to be reread. That's why I consider myself an extremely meticulous, picky collector and buyer. But yeah, all of these are old anime. Now, one of them I've not seen and the other 2 I have. But I was happy. I'm so happy to have these actually. The very first one I picked up, which I think was last month. And this is a series probably for the last few years I have been anticipatingly wanting. I remember watching this series a few years ago now, going way back, and my friend had the first volume of it, and I watched like the first 4 episodes, and I was just in love with it. Like, it just screamed cuteness. And that is Oh My Goddess Season 1, because there is 2 seasons of this, but every time I've seen this on eBay, it has been so pricey. People have put it up as like up to $90. And I'm like, I'm not willing to pay that much, but pot of the luck was on my side. I got this series for $25. That is pretty good. And all I need is a second collection, which I'm in like not a massive hurry to get because technically it is on Funimation, the 2nd season of this, so if I really want to watch that, I will. But I will still buy it. But as far as what I remember about this series is about a romance between a human and a goddess. And he made a wish that he wanted, I think it was a girlfriend, and then he ends up getting the beautiful Belle Dandy. Now, Belle Dandy, I remember her being so angelic, precious. She reminds me so much of Toru Honda from Fruits Basket. They're one and the same, and I remember this had a great comedic flair to it. It was very funny. So I'm excited to get to watch this. I'm planning to watch it in April or May is on my list. So that is Oh My Goddess. I'm so happy to finally have it. Next up that I picked up is a series I have seen go around on eBay constantly, but it's always been, again, like, people have put up the price ridiculously, like $100. That is to me. This is a series, again, I love. It's a Clamp anime, and I love Clamp. I've not seen all of the Clamp series yet. There's some, like, Magical Ray Earth Girl, the anime X, I do own that, but I've not watched that yet. Some of the manga I still need to read, and I love Clamp. I think I love their stories, like Tsubasa Chronicles. I have the entire series of that. Wait, I don't have the OVA, that reminds me. And I love this story. Is a romance comedy, and just, you know, makes me happy every time. But it's a bit of a hit or miss, and that is Chobits. Can't remember what I got this for on eBay. Most of the anime I buy is always off eBay because I'm always like getting good bargains off of there. But yes, this is the entire series, and I'll show you the discs only if they're interesting. No, they're not really interesting. All they have is Sumomo on all of them. Again, Dad's like watching me. My dad's like washing our windows right now, and he like can see me through the blinds. It's okay, I don't think he can. Chobits is a bit of a hit or miss series, but is so endearing. It's about a guy named Hidaki who is a university student. He passes a bunch of trash, and in the trash is a girl. He brings a girl home, and I should mention, in this world that this is set in, it's set in a world where people have these things called persocoms, which are android computers, and you know, they're used to, you know, search things up on the internet, do daily chores. So, you know, they're androids, and he finds this girl, which her name is Chi. Hideki gives her that name, and finds out she is a persocom, and he somehow activates her. She does not know who she is. Her hard drive is completely erased, wiped. So it's pretty much a clean slate for Chi, but obviously as you get through the series, you learn about Chi and her background, and it's actually, when I first watched this, it was actually really surprising. I love the plot line for it. And, you know, surprisingly, this is a very funny series. Great humorous flair. Towards the end of the series is where things get, like, really serious. And, of course, this is a rom-com. There is a build-up of romance between Hidaki and Chi, but then you have to remember now, Chi is actually, I'll mention, she is a exception for being a persocom. She can talk like a human, and she can also, she feels real emotions. So she is almost human. She is the exception out of all the persocoms in this world setting. Hideki makes up this whole entire series from his reactions to things. He's very genuine, innocent guy that just emanates throughout his entire character through the whole series, and it's so real and raw, and you know, he definitely makes up for why I love this series a lot. So, and I just love all the silly shenanigans that happen too. So I'm so happy to finally have Chobits. Hopefully I'll get around to watching it, and maybe I'll talk about it as an old anime in a video. But next up, funnily enough, this was a completely unexpected find. These final two are, I should say. I actually went to the op shop yesterday. I just wanted to get out of the house, and I always go and look in the DVD and book section first. This was a surprising find. I've never found any in any of the Aussie ones. It seems in American op shops you actually have better luck, from what I've seen in people's haul videos and stuff in the past. But yeah, this was a first for me. I just could not believe it. It was sitting there, it looked like it was in really good condition, and it was freaking $10. I was like flipping my lid, and that is Clannad. The entire series, first season of Clannad, because obviously we have Clannad After Story, which I consider the second season. And I could not believe it. But it was $10. I was just thinking, what is wrong with somebody? Why would you throw this away or give it away? and not sell it. I was like, well, good for me. Win-win for me. And I feel like, do I really need to say anything about Clannad? Clannad, as people say, you need a box of tissues. But I have not watched this series in a very, very long time. And I don't know if right now I'm emotionally prepared to watch this, because I've just finished reading the Fruits Basket manga. And we have the new anime on the horizon. I'm not ready. Yeah, that's for another video. Essentially, you know, Clannad is about a boy named Tomiya. He's a delinquent. He's a bit lost in life, and he meets Nagisa, who completely turns him around. He meets these other girls. They befriend one another. Heavy drama happens. Oh my god, I don't feel like I had to say anymore. And I love the animation. It's glorious. Yeah, that's Clannad. So maybe one of these days I will feel like up to finishing Clannad, just not right now. And next to that, I found for $3 at the op shop was Spirited Away. Now there was 2 others there, but I already had those. But yeah, I didn't have Spirited Away. It's $3. How could I say no? And the disc was in really good condition. Yeah, Spirited Away. So, love that movie. Who doesn't love that Ghibli film? So, that is all the anime I have got. I'm really happy with all of those older ones that I ended up getting. I feel proud of myself. And now into the next half of this long video, which I anticipate it's going to be, is the manga. So, first up, I did a first impressions on this series. And at the beginning of this year, it was my very first video for this year, and I completely fell in love with the story and the characters, the humor, just everything about it. It made me want to have it in my collection. And but accidentally I bought the digital release, and of course that was the Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight, and this is volume 2. Now I do have to say, I love all the covers that I've seen for the volumes, because there's about 9 volumes out right now. I mean, this is a really cute cover, but I honestly prefer the ones with, oh god, Kaede and Hannah. I prefer the couple that are on the other front covers than say to this, but still, it's cute. I only have volume 2. I have not read it yet. I know what's wrong with me. I have not read it. It's just been sitting on my poor shelf. Essentially, the story is a Cinderella comedy, as also what it says on the back of this book. Follows a girl named Hannah, who is a high schooler, has the same old routine, gets up at 5 AM, goes to school, does stretches. She lives pretty much a mundane, boring life, and but underneath it all, she is a absolute romanticizer. She loves fairy tale endings, and she wants to find her prince. And then one day, famous movie star actor Kaede comes to her school to shoot a video. She becomes one of the extras. They meet over a pair of shoes, and of course, both of them become entwined in each other's lives. It is funny. The art style is so cute. One of the funny things about Kaede, you find out he is very quirky, eccentric character. And he's got a butt fetish. So that convinced me even more that I wanted to have this for myself. And where volume 1 left off of, I've been dying to know, and I'm going to read this today. As I'm talking about this, I'm saying to myself, we're going to read this today, or in April, for certain reasons. I'll get into that probably in another video. It is one of the cutest romantic comedy mangas I've fall in love with in a really long time, because I can't remember, because the last one that I did honestly was Absolute Boyfriend. You can tell how long that's been. I never really talked about that in the video. So Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight, and this is by Rin Mikamoto, which I didn't even say the author. Her work is new to me. I love her art style so much. So that just screams cuteness. It is so cute. And I formally apologize in advance that probably half of these manga, the next few ones, are just all shoujo. Yeah. Next up, I actually had recorded a first impression for this video, but I feel like it's pointless me putting that up now. And you might have seen this around. It's pretty popular at the moment. It is Shortcake Cake. This is volume 1, and this is by Sue Morishita. I've never read anything by this author. And the story is about a girl named Ten. Funny, the protagonist's name is Ten. It's funny to me. She has to make a 2-hour commute to school back and forth. And she's convinced by one of her friends to move into the school's actual dorm. And, you know, lessen her commute time. Along with her friend, when she moves in, she meets 3 other dudes. So our 3 suitors we have is Riku, he's a bit of a playboy. Then we have Chiaki, who's a reader. And we also have Yuto, who's a bit of a nerd. And Ten is a bit of, you know, oblivious girl who's not, you know, really that accustomed to boys falling for her, falling in love. And I enjoyed volume 1. As people have described this story and manga, it is sweet, innocent. I actually read this volume during the 24-hour Manga Love readathon, which was done by Shay Geeks Out. I did give my short thoughts then on this. I do definitely plan to continue collecting this series. I do love Morishita's art style. It's very simple and cute. So let me show you guys like a little thing. Oh, this is a good page. This is of Riku. This one here is Riku. He is my probably favorite boy character out of all the boys. He's just got the most personality. I don't think at the moment Yuta and Chiaki's characters haven't really been covered that much. It was more about Riku in this volume. I love Ten. There's nothing really to not like about her as a protagonist. You know, she's, you know, lovable in her own way. And honestly, how volume 1 left off of, I was like, damn, Ten is not as dense as you think she is. So I'm excited to see where the story goes. And yeah, that is Shortcake Cake. And that's a cute name to name a manga. Next up, this was the very first manga I bought for this year. It was a part of a new blog segment I started called Manga Mail Weekly, where I was going to buy a manga every week and then blog about it. But yeah, that kind of died. I underestimated buying a manga weekly and funds. So just don't do that. Don't do a segment like that ever, people, because yeah, it's a bit taxing. But anyway, buying this volume, it's made me want to get the rest of the series. I've seen the anime for it. I fell in love with it. It needs a season 2. Studio Parrot. And that is Yona of the Dawn. And this is by Mizuho Kusanagi. And let me just, before we get into Yona of the Dawn, we need to talk about the manga. I need to find this one layout on this page that completely blew me away. We just need to appreciate this for a sec. Look at that. Look at the freaking detail. Like, when I rolled the page over to this, when I first started reading it, I was like, oh my god, that is some deep manga detailing. Like, everything in the manga art style is phenomenal in this series. I was like, Mizuho, why have I not read anything by you yet? But yeah, right off the bat, before anything, if not even the story, we're not even counting at the moment, the manga's art style is just phenomenal. Just, it added to the emotional levels because I cried during this volume 1. Because, you know, I haven't seen the anime for a while, and I did get teary. So emotional. And if you have not seen Yona of the Dawn, just historical fantasy. It might give you Fushigi Yugi vibes, but essentially it's about a girl named Yona who comes of age at 16. And she is in love with her cousin Suwon. Suwon, yes. I liked him in the beginning, not so much. And in the end, she witnesses her father's murder. And then, along with her bodyguard Hack, she is on the run. Princess on the run. So, you know, this storyline is a classic trope. You know, princess rises up. And let me tell you, Yona rises up all right, this girl. Just the anime was, you know, it was exceptional. definitely Yuna's growth as a princess. You know, because Yuna's quite feeble, naive at the start, and what she grows into, as people have considered her alongside Shirayuki from Snow White the Red Hair, having that growth. They're both very similar, you know, strong-headed female redheads, but Yona doesn't start out that way. And alongside that, the story just expands out, like it screams historical. Then we have these dragon warriors that appear, come to her aid. Oh man, those boys, they're all pretty too. So it is just a phenomenal story. Like, I can't say it anymore, and I'm collecting the rest of the series. So yeah, hopefully I'll pick up maybe volumes 2 and 3 in April. We'll see. Next up, because this is going to be a long haul, a manga that I've heard, again, people talk about endlessly on, and for its age gap romance. Now, you know, age gap romances most of the time go the way of, oh no, this is so wrong, and then people don't enjoy it. This author is breaking those traditions, and that is Connie and Hannah, and this is volume 1 and 2. Just look at these covers. I love them. They're vibrant, cute, and then we put down volume 2. I am here for this series. I'm here. The story is about a girl named Hannah, who's 16, who steps in for her sister a arranged marriage. So Hannah steps in for her older sister, I think Yuko, I think her name was, and because she doesn't want to meet her, you know, date as a part of this arranged marriage, which is Takane, and he is a heir of a, you know, massive business company, you know, so he's all rich, all that business. And upon meeting, Hannah is actually disgusted by Tanaka's behavior. He's very arrogant, very pig-headed, not all the things you would like in a guy. I don't know, maybe me. But yeah, so she's not impressed, and she then walks out and refuses to ever see him again. And of course, Tanaka has taken a liking to Hannah. She's very upfront, direct, and Tanaka likes that in his women. So there is, and then the two, and even after the whole marriage arrangement thing, the two of them still begin to meet up with each other. There's this interest there. What this author has done with his age gap series so far has just completely blown my mind to keep it so innocent, because these two, when they banter, the comedy level in this series is just crazy. It's crazy good. It is so freaking funny. When these two banter together, it's the greatest thing to put on a smile on your face. Their characters are so well thought out, so bloody likable. Just cannot wait to see how this turns out. There is the slight hints that this is going to go into the element of relationship, because Hannah is 16 and the age gap Tanaka is 26. Still, this might not be a manga for certain people because of this reason, because of that massive age gap. But, you know, I feel like it's with the current times as well. You know, age sometimes isn't everything in a relationship. And I think that theme definitely screams out in this series. I just extremely enjoyed this story already. So yeah, I cannot wait for where this goes, and I'm ready for more Tanaka and Hannah banters because they're hysterical. Hopefully all these series that I'm talking about eventually I'm going to do a full video on, going into detail, because I need to. I definitely need to. Alright, next up we have an author I have talked about in a video before. She's one of my favorite manga authors. She was one of the very first I got into, and finally I got around to picking up her newest work, which I'm so glad she is doing new works, which is Idle Dreams, and is by Arina Tamura. Can we just look at these covers? Oh, they're so cute. I haven't read a Arina Tamura story for ages, and her work has gone up a level. Like, while I was reading this, I just like, let's look at this. Look at how detailed her facial expressions have got. They have gotten so much more detailed, and I'm ripped. Like, her manga style, I've always loved. It is just cute, says cutesy shoujo. It's what makes me enjoy her stories so much more. This story is something that she has never attempted before. This story is about a woman who's in her 30s, Chikaya. She's an office woman, and she attends her class reunion where she sees her old first crush, which can't remember the dude's name. And unfortunately, one of her classmates screams out, "Oh, she has never been in a relationship and she is a virgin." Of course, is embarrassed with herself, and she feels like her life is so empty. When her only friend in school, which was Tokita, a guy, he says, "Why don't you take this experimental drug that I have been working on, which will turn back the clock. You'll go back to being a teenager." So she takes this experimental drug and she goes back to being 15 years old, because when she was 15, she dreamed of being an idol. And that's what she does. She keeps taking this drug and goes back to being 15 and goes to live out her dream of being an idol. I love that she was tackling something in this for the modern day, you know, having a magical twist to it. I know it's not really magical, it's more of an experimental drug, but still, it feels magical when you look at, you know, her art style. Been very interesting when I've read the first 2 volumes, because I have no idea where this is going to go in terms of the romance factor, because when she turns 15, you know, she meets this other young idol who she becomes a bit chummy with. And then we also have her friend Tokita, who already has a girlfriend, but he always had a crush on Chikaya. And that just makes me like, oh my god, I don't know where this is gonna go. Oh, I feel like someone's gonna be hurt. There's gonna be hearts broken here for how this is gonna work. And the sad thing about this manga is that I found out that she only releases one per year, like every November. I'm like, oh my god, that's torturous. Right now there's like 5 volumes out, so I'm probably gonna be holding off getting the rest of them at the moment. I'm hoping it's just like a 6-volume series. Maybe she releases a 6th volume and then I'll get the rest of it. But yeah, it only comes out once a year every November, I found out. So sad on that part. But what can I say? It's cute and there's lots of fluffiness, and that's all you really need to know. Hopefully I'll go again in a video talking about it. But Arina Tamura, her work, her art style has gone up a level, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Alright, we're getting down to the last few things, and I do apologize if this video ends up being longer than it should. Alright, next up we have, well, this might not be for everybody, but this is probably the first boys love manga I bought for my collection yet, and I'm happy what the first one was, and that is 10 Count by, can't even look at, Rito Takara? Yeah? No, I probably said the author's name wrong. I probably butchered it. Can we just look at these covers? Just look. No, candy. Anyway. Oh, okay. 10 Count, I'm sure people have heard about in terms of the boys' love, and I've become a recent lover of the manga publisher Boys Love Sublime, who publish a lot of yaoi manga. I've become a massive fan of them, that we have such a publisher like that. I wish they had been in existence to me in, say, in the last few years, and I only found out about them this year. Shame on me. But yes, 10 Count, I love, friggin' love. One of the things that people love about this story is it covers mental health. It covers germophobia. Because our main protagonist, Shirotani, is a germophobiac. He cannot stand germs. He will not touch anything, doorknobs. He will not touch people. He thinks the whole world is dirty. He thinks himself dirty. He will constantly wash his hands all the time. He wears gloves all the time. So he lives a very alienated, isolated life. That's until he meets therapist Kuroshi, who, out of the kindness of his heart, wants to help Shiratani get over his germophobia, or at least lessen it. So he makes a list of 10 things. So this is around, and this is why it's called 10 count. He makes a list of 10 things for him to tick off. Each one that he does, like, oh, touch a doorknob, drink from someone's glass, little things like that. Each time they just tick it off. Number 10 is like the last one. It's like the biggest one for Shiratani to face. And of course it focuses on their relationship. Oh, let me tell you, this is equally heavy and at the same time, but you know, there's got those steamy scenes. But the mental healthness really is the strongest part of this series. You know, this series left me so in awe after reading the first 2 volumes. I love Kuroshi's character, the therapist dude. I just love him. I love his character. I just love how supportive he is towards Shiratani. He's so honest, level-headed, mature. I'm just like, I need one of you right now. I need one of him right now. Yeah, mental health theme in this is covered extremely well. It's so good, guys. So good. If you love Yaoi Boys Love, you need to pick up 10 count. You just do. Like, that's some heavy stuff right there. Next up, this is a special one because I recently wrote a post last month talking about this because I didn't write a lot of mushy posts for February, which I'm sad that I didn't. Only wrote like one. But it was talking about the manga that got me into shoujo. And this series has been one of my favorite shoujos ever. It is my favorite shoujo manga ever. And I'm ashamed that until now, I've not had this in my collection, but I finally have started collecting it. I've talked about it in a video before, and it is Karen's First Love. This is by Kaho Miyasaka. And this story is about 16-year-old Karen. She is always listening to her parents. It's all about study, study, study. She never has fun. And one day on the train, she's looking through a particular photograph book, and she doesn't notice that there is a boy staring at her, which is Kiria. And she accidentally drops her book, and he attempts to go give it back to her, but in the process, he ends up lifting up her skirts. She assumes he is a pervert, and of course, she runs away, dropping her book, and in an attempt to try and return her book, she doesn't meet Kiria until her friend Yukina arranges a mixer, girls and boys mixer, and that's when the two meet again, and that's when things start to happen between the pair. Now, this is a 10-volume series. It is not an overly perfect series, let me say. But to me, this series has the perfect shoujo package. I think it's definitely a great first read for the younger female demographic. As it like an introduction, the usual tropes that we get in shoujo. One of the first things I loved about the series when I was first reading it, that it really ticked on the box of, you know, like I fell in love with Karen's character. Very relatable for me at the age of when I read this. As somebody that, you know, doesn't do well with dealing with boys, and also the whole of your first time that covers, it's a real struggle for Karen in the story, and that's a really relatable, I find, young female readers will relate to easily. Really focuses on just Karen and Kiria's relationship, and some of the things that happen in the series are ridiculous, over exaggerated, but despite that, the ending is so satisfying. So satisfying. I don't think I can highlight that more. So yeah, there is 10 volumes of this. I can only find it on Book Depository at the moment. But this is a very, very special series to me, and I cannot wait to finally get all of the volumes. Yay! Right. Moving on to the very last thing I have to show you guys, which I recently, as I said, got last week. It is an entire manga series. I haven't bought a whole entire manga series in ages. Recently it was announced that this author would be releasing a brand new series in October focusing in a medical setting to do with doctors, a romance. I'm so excited for that. And that is Happy Marriage. Look at this. It's like a rainbow of spines. This is a 10-volume series, and this is by Mackie and Joe. And I'll show you guys all of the covers because I think they're really cute. There's volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. That's really cute, hugging his head. Volume 4, volume 5, volume 6. It's like, what are you doing? Volume 7. Well, that's a really cute one. All the Christmas one, volume 8, volume 9, and then we have volume 10. So I got this off a secondhand site. It is called Gumtree here in Australia, and I got it for a really good deal, really good price. I could not pass it up. I'm like, I'm stupid if I don't buy this. So this is about a arranged marriage between Hokoto and Chiwaya. I probably butchered it, but yeah, focuses on these two and the arranged marriage, and they're totally polar opposites. But really the purpose of the arranged marriage was to get rid of the debts that Chiwaya's father has built up over the years, and also this was a request from Hokoto's grandfather for him to marry her. So things don't start out as so blissful in the beginning. There's full of a lot of drama, but there is some really sweet moments in this. I love, these two remind me of Connie and Hannah in their banters. They're hysterical, and it's just beautiful of how these two grow closer together. It definitely reminds you of Everyone's Getting Married. If you love that series, I think you're gonna love Happy Marriage. It is such a fulfilling read, and I've always wanted this for my own collection, and to get it all in one go for a good deal. Oh man, that was totally unexpected, but I am very, very happy shoujo girl right now. And I cannot wait to reread this and know that it's all mine. That's it, guys. That is everything I have to show you for this anime manga haul. I don't even know what I'm going to call the title of this video yet. I don't know. Hope you enjoyed seeing what I have gotten over the last just nearly 3 months. I am always looking, you know, for people to tell me, have they seen any of these series, read any of these? What, if you like them as much as me, if you don't, I am always loving to hear those sorts of things. That's what the comments are down below for. But I'm actually planning to do another video talking about, for this year and into next year, going over some particular titles or anime releases and manga wise of ones that I would love to get for my collection over the next year. So that's definitely going to be a video I'm going to do in April. It will come out in some time, hopefully the 1st or 2nd week of April, which is next week. Oh my goodness. Also, let you guys know, this Sunday, and I cannot remember what the date is for this Sunday. Let me see. It'll appear on my channel. Yeah, what day is it this Sunday? 31st. Holy crap, holy 31st. So this Sunday, the 31st of March, I am going to be having a live stream here on the channel. It's honestly, there's no particular theme. There's just some stuff I want to talk about to do with anime that's happened in the last 3 months, stuff that's been announced. And it's just going to be like just a chill stream, to be honest. Maybe I'll have a guest on there. I don't know. This was kind of like totally unplanned. It will be at 11:30 a.m. Australian Central Daylight Time, so I don't get it wrong. I will put a time zone converter down in the bar for you just to make it easier, so you just click away and figure out what time it is for you. It possibly might end up starting at noon as well, so don't assume I'm going to start straight away at 11:30. It may end up starting at noon, it depends. But yeah, it'll just be a chill stream, so please feel free to come and drop in. And I'm also having it also because there's new people on the channel, so maybe be a way for you guys to get to know me. But all you really need to know is I'm just a crazy person who does too many things on the internet. All the linky links are down below, and I will see you guys next week for another video. So it's either going to be I will be talking about an anime I've been watching recently, a new one, or it's going to be talking about the anime that I want to have in my collection. Imports, that sort of thing. So I will see you guys then. Bye bye.